Hey guys, alright, so we're going to do some dividing. So here, let's say that I am going to take 723 divided by 3. So I'm going to set my problem up. My 3, my smaller number, is going to go on the outside. My 723, that's my total. I'm going to write it big on the inside. And next to my 3, I'm going to put groups of, and this is how I'm going to build my box. So I'm going to draw the line straight down, and I'm going to separate all these numbers out, like so. All right, so now I'm going to show you the first way with manipulatives and then the second way without. So if I have 7 here, I'm going to put 7 beans. And I'm trying to make groups of 3. So here, this one has a 2, so it gets 2 beans. This one has a 3, so it gets 3 beans. So if I make a group of 3, I see that I can make one group of 3 here. I can take 1, 2, 3, and make a second group. And so this here is 2 groups. So the number of groups that I make, I'm going to put it on top. Scoot these over so you can see the 2 groups. So there's 1 group of 3 and 2 groups. So I can make 2 groups. Now there's 1 left over. Every time we go to regroup, we're going to take 1, and I'm taking, this is like 1 in the hundreds place because the 7 is in the hundreds. And so if I take 100 and regroup it to the tens, I have to change it out. Instead of 100, I'm going to make it be 10 tens because that's the same as 100. So I'm going to count out 10 beans. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so now I'm going to add those to my tens. And again, I'm trying to make groups of 3. So I'm done with this pile, so I'm going to scoot these so they don't confuse me out of the way. And I'm going to make groups of 3 in my tens place. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now here I made 1 group, 2 groups, 3 groups, 4. So 4 groups goes on top. And there were none that were left over. I was able to use all my beans to make groups of 3. So I'm done with those. And then now I'm going to look at this column. I've got 3 beans, so I can make my 1 group of 3 and put my 1 there. So 723 divided by 3 is equal to 241. All right, so that's using that's with using manipulatives. Now, let me show you without. So that was 723 divided by 3. All right, so without, we're going to put our numbers back here again. I'm going to write groups of 3. I'm going to put a multiplication symbol there. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to ask ourselves how many, let me make my boxes real quick, how many groups of 3 are there in 7? So I know that if I count my groups of 3, so 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, there's my groups of 3. If I'm trying to get 7, I'm going to go down my list. Okay, I know I can make 1 group. I know I can make 2 groups. I cannot make 3 groups because I only have 7. So I have to stop at 2 groups. So the groups go on top, and then I'm going to multiply. So 2 times 3 is 6. And I'm going to subtract these to see what's left over. And there's 1 left over. Let me see this. There we go. Now you can see better. All right, 1 left over. So 7 minus 6 is 1. The 1 that I have left over, I'm going to regroup it, and now this is going to become a 12. And I'm going to ask myself again, if I've got 12, how many groups of 3 can I make? So I'm going to go back to my groups, and I'm trying to get to 12. And 12 is on my list, so that's 1 group, 2 groups, 3 groups, 4. So there are 4 groups that I can make. That goes on top. Then I'm going to multiply. 4 times 3. Go back to my box. So look at the movement. 4 times 3 is 12. I subtract. 12 minus 12 is 0. There's no leftovers. So there's nothing to take up here. I'm just going to go with the 3. Then I'm going to ask myself, how many groups of 3 are there in 3? So here, 3 is just 1 group. So 1 group goes on top. 1 times 3 is 3. Subtract that, and there's no remainder. So again, just like we got here, the 241, we got the same answer. So 723 divided by 3 is 241. That means if I have 723, that's my total, I can make 3 different groups, and those groups would each have 241 in each of the groups. That number can be split equally. All right? All right, hope that helps. So again, you can use manipulatives to help you make those groups, or you can use what you know with the multiples of whatever this number is that you have on the outside here. You use that to skip count and find those multiples and find the groups that way. All right, thanks for watching.